Good evening, everybody. Nice fall evening here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Good evening, Jitu. How are you doing tonight? I bet you already missed the lake, don't you? All right. As we can see, the market did a reversal. There's your evening star signal. Be just very simple process tomorrow. If they open this lower, they're probably coming back down to at least the 50-day moving average. Now, that alone would not be a relevant, or that would be a good indication that there's been a reversal. However, with the addition of very quick visual analysis on the NASDAQ, which was this bearish engulfing signal, started back up, then a dark cloud confirming, that makes the 50-day moving average also a very viable target for the NASDAQ. And what was really telling today was the transportation index, which usually leads the way. We saw a big sell-off back below the T-line. And when you add all that together with all the indexes rolling over at the same time, that tells you that's a market change of investor sentiment. That and especially with them having sell signals and closing below the T-line, pretty much tells us that we're still got some more downside, probably until they hit support areas. So that pretty much tells us we want to be out of any long positions that aren't showing any good strength and moving toward the short side. Let's take a quick gander at some of the commodities. Crude oil is still heading down, this downward trend channel. Interest rates, bond prices heading up. Notice how it bounced right off the 200-day moving average, bounced right off the 200-day moving average, gap up dojis, back up above the T-line. Means they could take bond prices right back up into this level, which means interest rates are still going to be heading down a little bit. SC, getting out of long positions, you can, with the idea that on things like WLL, we're having some of these problems tonight. JCPenney, I wouldn't be so inclined to, because I would think that right now they're just bringing it back to the 50 and heading up. I'm trying to get WLL to come up here. There we go. This also tells you they could probably be taking this down to the 200. So it all depends on how aggressive you want to be on your long-term holds. You could have taken profits in here somewhere and getting ready to buy back. So at this point, I'd be more apt to start buying back long-term positions. Okay, some of the other things. Soybeans, they keep coming out with soybeans having probably another or a blockbuster crops this year. So as you can see, for the last 6 months, soybeans have been steadily heading down, and now there's that slow curve telling you there might be a much stronger slingshot effect to the downside. And oh yes, yeah. If you get an echo, sometimes it's because you're logged in twice. So just check. All right, and I'm trying to think what else we got going here. Cotton. Same scenario. It's tried to come up, and now they've really crunched it. we could be at wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 to the downside on cotton. Wheat, same scenario. Notice how it failed right here at the 50 and continuing to head down. Going to be bumper crops of cotton this year. I just shorted cotton, or I'm sorry, soybeans just about 4 minutes ago. So already up a few $100 on that trade. So yes, I would be going short soybeans at this level. Gold. Gold has nothing yet to show there's any change of investor sentiment. It's still heading down. And silver. Well. Silver might be trying to bottom. Where do most people sell? They panic sell at the bottom. You had a big day and a doji. So you still got the same criteria for trading as you would on a stock. If this opens positive, at least look for a bounce back up to the T-line. If it opens negative, they're still crunching it, probably with a doji sandwich to the downside. Let's see, what else was I thinking here? Oh, the dollar. No, not Dynex Capital. Whoops. Ah, humbug. The dollar keeps heading up. And the euro keeps heading down. What else we got out there? The Japanese yen still heading down. So the dollar's picking up strength, obviously. James, we'll get all to the individual stocks after we do the double yellow line, but I'm pretty sure I've got those. I don't have. Okay. Dollar. Oh. Went live hogs, because notice where the kicker signal occurred? Right off the 50-day moving average. Went live hogs a little bit on Friday and some more today on today's Monday. Now we're looking for the breakout here, which puts us into a J-hook, which tells us we got a lot more upside. There is a little gap right here, so at least that should be the next target. And let's see, feeder cattle isn't doing too much of anything right now, except heading down a little bit. Well. Still in a very slow down trend. Not enough to really want to go after it aggressively. Okay. I think I've got all the commodities that are... Oh, Lori, I don't know the answer to that question. Probably whatever gives you better leverage if you're following the charts. This is getting to be a little bit aggravating. We're not getting good signals here tonight. Try the other one. See. Well. See if I can get anything else. There we go. What do we got here? Okay. All right, WTW was acting well ever since the little gap up, breaking through this level. We want to stay long. That's a definite wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 J-hook pattern. Let me try BAL now. I guess it would be whatever, let's see, I would be looking at it more on what gives me the best leverage or what has the biggest volatility. That's BAL, CTNN. I guess BAL is probably better to trade. This one is apparently apparently not a whole lot of trading go on in this one. Yes. All right. So anyways, there are a few good long positions to hold on to. BTW or WTW is one. TMK or TKMR. Oh, Pashal, this is going to get aggravating. Okay, let's see. We're not going to sit through this all night. Jim, hold on for a second. I'm going to shut the screen down. I'm going to bring up the other screen. At least that way we can move along a little bit faster. This still isn't catching up. All right. Whoops, there it is. Okay. If it does it one more time, we'll have to change screens. But notice notice the wedge that we were watching for on TKMR, that if it broke out, we wanted to be buying. Or if we were buying in here with the anticipation it was breaking out, we didn't close it until it closed below the T line. So today I had a nice big up day. I would anticipate breakout of this wedge. We're going to see more upside on that one. And the other one that was acting well today is AMBA. Okay, so AMBA was also working well today ever since this big reversal, that big bullish engulfing J-hook pattern. You stay long on this until you see a sell signal. A few others that we've been sitting in that have been working well. Dang it, don't do that. AVNR broke out. You stay long with this one as long as it doesn't close below the T line. Okay, so those are the longs that look good right now. There are a few others that, let me take a look at some of the ones that you can consider going long on. RADA, good volume. This one you can be buying if it comes up, especially up through yesterday or today's high. Left-right combo, J-hook type pattern. Big breakout, consolidation. If they are telling us the consolidation's over, it's time to be buying on positive trading tomorrow. And G-Pro is one that you keep an eye on. It's doing the J-hook pattern, our classic pattern, fry pan bottom, breakout, J-hook pattern. Get ready to buy this one. Oh, AVNR offering after hours. Okay. And SRPT. Oh, this is on the wrong list, but this is still a good-looking short. That should be over here. SRPT. That one you can be shorting on any weakness tomorrow. That one's in the wrong place. I've got the whole list of shorts that we want to look at. SRPT, one of them. NIO, just stay long on this one until you see a sell signal. ACHN, I'm pretty sure ACHN is in the wrong place, so I'm going to put that over here. HNR. Notice what's happened today. A huge reversal. Left-right combo. Closed right at the T-line. Big profit taking. Very simple. If this opens positive tomorrow, you can be buying immediately because that tells you this signal is working and the profit taking's over. They're going to take it right back up again. SFly. Big, huge, bullish engulfing. Another one that can be bought on positive trading. Notice where they bounce it off, right at the 200, within pennies of it anyways. Taking it back up, I would suspect they're going to bring it back up here into this range, the top of the trend channel. And LCI, slow curve. This one, all you can do is stay with this long until you see a sell signal. PAM's got a very nice looking chart. Look at the bullish engulfing signal after opening up on the 50, lollygagging below it, and then coming back up again. There's your J-hook pattern in progress. Potential of another 20% to the upside on this one. This is a utility. The utilities seem to be picking up strength. Is there a takeover bid on S-Fly? I don't know. And Monster. Little kicker signal coming out of the fry pan bottom. That little kicker signal. If they open this positive tomorrow, will be breaking out through this level. Probably going to see some more upside. Oh, rumor on a takeover? All right. S-Fly. All right, so if it's a rumor on a takeover, at least you know the chart is telling you you're not the last one in. That this whatever this rumor is just starting, or at least you're in the phase of that it's not a bad looking chart, whether there's a rumor or not out there. And EMKR, after that gap up, tells us there's the profit taking's over. You can be buying this one on positive trading because that tells you the bulls are definitely in control of this one. And VIMC, I'd keep an eye on this one. This one does a little fade and starts back up. There's your classic fry pan bottom, J-hook pattern. There could be another 35% to the upside on this one. This one you want to keep on your watch list for that J-hook. Whoops. And GFIG, we had looked at, made a little bit of money with this, got back out, but look at that J-hook pattern setup. This tells us if you buy on positive trading tomorrow and use the T-line in your stop, you've got a good J-hook pattern setting up. Gives you good probabilities you're going to be heading for higher ground. Tata Motors, this one trades overseas quite a bit in ADS, but as you can see, it's broken out through this little downtrending channel with an island reversal. This one you can be buying. It should be in an uptrend. And notice how this one started the big uptrend. Your Gravestone Doji, not your Gravestone Doji, your Dragonfly Doji, which is your ultimate hammer signal, gap up. Look at the strength of that move after the gap up. And ALR, another J-hook pattern setting up. This one, again, the reason we want to keep an eye on the patterns or recognize patterns is not only are the probabilities that they'll work, but the probabilities that they'll work better than anything else in the market is extremely high. Good looking J-hook pattern. 34 to 42 means this could take us right up into about the $49, $50 area. All right, the other side is with this market heading down and nothing yet to, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on, now I got to get over to the indexes to illustrate. The market's looking like they could be rolling over. There's a lot of good-looking shorts that now have higher probabilities. We shorted BGS today because notice where it failed, right here at the T-line and then opened lower. this one could, if that breaks, it definitely breaks this area. The next target could be way down here at the bottom of that trend channel. You definitely want to be shorting this one. We've been shorting CONN, failing. Notice the failure was caused by this little doji gap down. You stay short on this one until you see a buy signal. And CREE also has come up, did a bearish engulfing signal. Bottom of this trend channel at least is the next target, which would bring you down into this area. Also starting to short soda. Notice the dumpling top. Now you've had a little doji, hanging man, failure of the 50. Now starting to break down hard. This is where that slingshot effect, or that the big selling pressure can come in, is at the end of these patterns. In this case, this is a bearish one, the fry pan bottom. So essentially, what we really want to find is chart patterns that look like this, that can send a stock down extremely hard, like we saw in CRR. So we try to find things that have that same type of setup. We're starting to see that in SALE, S-A-L-E. If this breaks this level, they could be taking this down pretty hard. I mean, this is a failure, so this is the type of setup where it hasn't crashed yet, but it's got the prospects of getting hit pretty hard. HLF, there's that little failure breakdown. More than likely, this still has more downside. Because if they're failing, this is, again, you're in an area where you're starting to see the panic selling. Now, I've been leery of shorting the biotechs, but they're all getting hit pretty hard. There's a good, with this slow curve breakdown of BIOF, they could be, it's not a biotech, but a biofuel. They could be taking this down pretty hard, back to a support level, which would coincide with the 200-day moving average. TRS, that's the type of thing we're looking for, is that slow curve breakdown. There's probably more downside to this one. I would suspect if this was the downtrending channel, they're bringing it down into this area someplace. And ATHM, that slow curve failure, not only did they fail the T-line, but they failed the 50. This one could be coming all the way back down to test the lows down here. So as you can see, they've been selling this off ever since the evening star signal. Nothing in here yet to tell you there's any change of investor sentiment, and it looks like there's new energy to the sell side today. I'm putting a little star next to that one. You might see that on the recommended list. NVIDIA, if you shorted it this morning, good job, because there's that failure. More than likely, you watch to see what they do at this level, but if they break that level, they could be coming all the way back down to one of these support areas. Now, I say they could be bringing them all the way down. We don't know how long this market might be selling off. It could be selling off for 2 days or 2 weeks. At least when we're shorting positions, when the market looks like it's starting to sell off, you're at least in the right place at the right time. So, again, we're trying to find, oh, pshaw, this is not going to be good. All right. We're trying to find those that are just starting to roll over, some sort of sell signal, so we can get this type of percentage move. Oh. That little rollover, waiting for it to slam down. So those are the type of things that we want to keep an eye out for. There's, I keep forgetting I have to type extra. just rolling over on GIMO. This could be heading down into the $8-7 range. Kendai has never gotten out of its own way. This one, you just stay short until you see a buy signal. This also looks like a wave 3 in progress with a bearish doji sandwich and a failure of the 200. This is wave 1. Wave 3 could take you down into the $8 range. And remember, the more they keep selling these off, the more the average investor gets panicky and just says, get me out of this, and that's what keeps the price not only picking up trajectory or picking up speed to the downside. HZNP, there's your obvious belt hold, bearish belt hold. Very simple. If this one opens lower, you short it immediately. You watch to see what it does at the 50. But this usually is an indication that there's now going to be a downtrending bias to that position or that stock. And let's see, why am I? REXX, same scenario. Broke this little last support. It could be heading down pretty big. So a lot of short positions, and you got very simple criteria. This one shouldn't close back up above the T-line. It probably shouldn't close more than halfway up this candle if you shorted it. So again, you've got the advantage of at least visually seeing where buyers should not be coming into your short position. Here's a bearish engulfing signal in SWIR. Next likely target, the 50-day moving average. And this is after a nice big steady uptrend like this. This is where you can throw your Fibonacci numbers on and see where the retracement levels are and see if they coincide with one of the moving averages. Oh, Netflix. Netflix had a good bearish J-hook pattern setup. Up or down. Notice that this was not a reversal signal. Told you there might be a bounce, which the bounce is there. Now you've still got more downside potential. Probably looking for the support area down in this area. And Baidu, another one that if it opens lower tomorrow, breaking this support level, after failing at this level, you've probably got a lot more downside. I think that's a solicitation call. I thought they weren't allowed to call after 8 o'clock at night. And Tesla, oh, Tesla, that various J-hook pattern, just below the 50, makes this simple. If this opens lower tomorrow, you want to be shorting immediately. Good prospect, they could take it all the way down to the 200-day moving average. Again, the prospect is if this market is now in a condition where investor sentiment has changed with that strong sell signal over the last 3 days, you want to definitely have short positions in your portfolio. MEG, there's that slow curve. It's starting to break down. That's another one that you can be going short on weakness tomorrow. Fold, which was a potential long until it closed back below the T-line. Notice the slow curve here. Where do you think your target is? Down here. That's still a decent percentage move. That's probably a 25% move back down to that level. VNet, bearish J-hook pattern in progress. Failure at the 50. I'm sorry, at the T-line. Whoops. How come I can't even read my own handwriting? That's just a fine howdy do. ENPH. This breaks this little level here. Good 25% to the downside back to the 50-day moving average. And we made some good money on ACHN on the upside. Now it looks like it's rolling over. Next target is the 50-day moving average. There was a couple more that I forgot to write down, but I remembered they were getting weak. DDD, notice it's failed here at the 50 twice, and now it's getting to the point where it could be breaking down pretty hard. That's got a good prospect of going much lower, meaning to the point where it could get back down to the trend channel, which is way down here somewhere, which I can't even guess where that is, but down in the $25 range. There was one more. Oh, was it? Was it VJet? VJet had failed twice, and it's to the point where if they do a bearish doji sandwich, they're breaking through this level, more downside, down to the bottom of this trend channel. All right, that's about all I got for the night, but the gist of today or tonight's session is we are definitely in a pullback. We don't know how long this pullback will last, but right now there's lots of short positions that look extremely good. And that will also be a function. This is why, looking at the pre-market futures, today we knew that after a shooting star on Friday and they were opening it lower today, we knew the Dow could probably get back to the T-line. Not necessarily in one day, but eventually. So that meant we should be out of long positions and heading for short positions. So it closed out a lot of trades that even though they may not have closed back below the T-line, there was a good prospect they were going to head down to the T-line. And with the market turning over, worst case scenario is you sell them, they get to the T-line, the market turns around, you can always buy them back. But why risk holding on to something for an extra day when you can see the market is selling off at the same time? All right, with that, are there any questions on candlesticks? What would you buy to hedge yourself on the whole market? Well, I would still, I'd still be going after individual. I mean, Elliott, that's why we have the capability of seeing which sectors, which stocks are selling off the hardest. There's probably at least 8 or 9 short positions that I would feel very comfortable with if this market keeps heading lower. Other than that, what are some of the 3 the leveraged ETFs? There's one. Is SDS a 3-fold? Is that a short or a double short or a triple short? Tezar, is this a dragonfly setting up for a potential reversal? Yes, but it will be a function of how they open it tomorrow. It has to open positive, and even then, well, yeah, that'd be a good reversal right off the 200-day moving average. TNA is a that's a 3x, except that's the long side. The short side is at TZA. Yeah, so that's the long side. So if you think the market's heading down, you want to protect some of your portfolio positioning without selling them out, you buy a leveraged index like the TZA to offset. And FAS is another one. SAS a triple. Oh, yes. For more for the financials. So, all right. What do you base your MACD? Jeff, I don't use MACD. It's just on here because it doesn't bother anything to be on there. I don't use MACD because it's a kind of a, what I would say, a lagging indicator. The only reason I put it on here is because I can overlay it without really affecting anything. Sam, I wouldn't be holding Apple long or short. There's just no trend to it. To me, it looks like there's a wedge formation setting up, which means it might just drift sideways until the 50 catches up. So right now, I wouldn't be long or short. There's too many other, it doesn't have any direction, number one. Number two, your money's sitting at risk that it could go either this way, or this way. There's nothing telling us which way it's going to go. So why risk your money? You should be out, put that money someplace else until a chart pattern shows up on this one. How much room should we give KTMR? I wouldn't close it out unless it does the severe selling, which means it came back below today's open. That would tell me that's not breaking out. And I wouldn't want to see it close below the halfway point of this candle. That puts us right back into the trend that it just, or the wedge that it just broke out. That's not what we expect. What we expect from a wedge breakout is that it's going to move much higher from here. So use the halfway point. Walt, I don't even know how to get to the Alibaba. Was it BABA? Yep. Nothing there. Nothing to hang your hat on. Let's see, a webinar tomorrow night. What is today? Oh, we've moved it. We had a speaker coming on Thursday, and they had to cancel, so I'm going to be doing the Thursday night session, and it will be the same webinar. It'll be the breakouts, how to use the breakouts, what to look for, and then hopefully be able to find a few in the current market. Did you ever use the trailing stops? Do I ever use trailing stops? Yes. If I'm in a good uptrend, and I'm trying to think of what to, let's just even use this. Right now, with stochastics in the overbought area, my trailing stop is at the open. I wouldn't want to see it come back through this level. If it opens positive tomorrow and closes up here, then I move it to the next open price. There is a webinar at 4:30 tomorrow, and that is with Pat Barham, Trade the System. So the other session that we were going to squeeze in tomorrow night at 8 o'clock or whatever is has been moved to Thursday. Oh, RADA. Whoops. This one you can be buying on positive trading. Okay. I guess with that, Jim, go ahead and do the double line. And in 3.8 seconds, do another double line. All right. Sears holding. Stay short. This is not a signal today. You could get a bounce. If I was short this one, I would stay short, but I wouldn't want to see it trade back up above today's high. If it does that, it means at least they're bouncing it. But because there's no real signal down here, that would be an indication that they're bouncing it, and then I'd watch to see what happens once they get back up to the the T-line. If it fails there, then I reshort it. G or QIHU, another one where all you can do right now is stay short. And coffee's trying to bottom. I haven't been trading coffee for the last few days only because it didn't look like it had, it looked like it was bottoming, so I didn't want to be short and I didn't want to be long. So it looks like that's what it's doing in here. It's trying to bottom in the oversold area. So I wouldn't be buying it until we see a strong buy signal and definitely a close above the T-line. And BEAV, another one that you can be, that's a nice looking short, a failure not only at the 200 with an evening star signal, but a failure of the 50 and the T-line. Definitely get ready to short this one. The magnitude of return isn't very great, but for a leverage trade, like an option trade, that'd be an excellent short, or buying the puts. FXCM, a little bit soft up here, but notice it hasn't even closed below the 3T line. If I was long, I would probably have my sell stop at today's today's low. It shouldn't come back below that level. And BPOP, big evening star signal again to close. This one has a good probability of coming back to the 200, but what you have to be aware of is your magnitude of move. That would be only about 4%. Just not a good trader, not very, I'm going to say, volatile. You guys, I wouldn't be long or short. That's sideways. And UFS. UFS, another one that's getting ready to, we shorted that a while back and covered it. Now look where it did a left-right combo, right where it failed before. That tells us that failing here at the 50 makes this downtrending channel the next likely target. HIMX. Another one that you get ready to short this one. If it opens lower tomorrow, that big spinning top, even making an evening star signal. Not a good place. If you're long, you want to definitely be out of it. You can basically go short. And here's a CMG. Here's the same reaction. Remember, sometimes in a fry pan bottom, it does some whipsaw right before it takes off. Looks like that's what's happening right here. You're seeing a little bit of whipsaw. Get ready to short this, because this will be kind of your little blue ice failure, which means they could drop it very fast back down to the 200, right in this range. Again, filling this gap over here. Thor. Get ready to take profits. If this opens lower tomorrow, take your profits. That means they got to the target that everybody was looking for. If it opens positive, obviously you stay long. There's still a gap to fill up here, but this would be a spot to start watching for some profit taking, because that was enthusiastic buying at the top of an uptrend. Whoops, I scrolled past myself here. TSL, TSL, soggy. You've had sell signals in here. Bearish engulfing signal. Bearish engulfing signal. Shooting star. Doji, gap down. Definitely want to be out of this one. If it opens lower, definitely be out of it. You've got a support level and a support level. I don't know whether you would want to go short at this point because of those two support levels, but I wouldn't want to be long in this one right now. Oops, PINK doesn't work. PNK, be ready to go short on this one. Doji sandwich to the downside. AEO got a little bit soggy today. This one has to open positive and trade positive to stay in it. If it opens lower, close out the position immediately. New Skin having a hard time getting back up above the T-line. This one you can be shorting if it opens lower tomorrow. Tells you the downtrend is still in progress. And December corn, let's see, I'll have to pull it up over here. ZCEZ. Stay short. Nothing positive showing yet. Been in a big steady decline for months now. And that's pretty much because they're going to have bumper crops this year. Very good growing season. GE, nah. The only reason I wouldn't go short on GE because it doesn't have any price movement. I mean, it takes a long time to make 6% in this stock one way or the other. I wouldn't be trading GE. It's just too slow and too lethargic. Now, if you do like it short, yes, you can be going short. I wouldn't be afraid to be shorting it. Just watch what it does at the 50. If it gets through the 50, next target's back down here. But even if it moves from here to here, that's a 3.5% move. It's not worthwhile. There are some things that you want to trade. There's some things that, even though they have good charts, aren't worth trading just because of the lack of magnitude of move. UTX, you can short this one. Failure at the 50 could be heading back down into the trend trajectory somewhere. DYAX seems to be holding its head above water. Stay long as it stays in this uptrend. Definitely would like to see it open positive tomorrow, but as you can see, there is a trend channel in progress. You just stay long. And ERY. ERY, J-hook pattern. Stay long on this one. Use the halfway point of this candle as your stop because that would bring you back into the recent high, which is what you want to, why you want to be in it, because it broke out through that level. TDU, you can be buying this one. Just use the T-line as your stop. And POL. POL, if you're buying this one, use the T-line as your stop. The only thing that's kind of suspect about this one is this wasn't a reversal signal. This is just telling you they've popped it up. Where would they likely pop it to? This downtrending channel. See if they're bringing it back up to the 200. If they fail there, you want to go short on it. And code. Code has to open positive. If it opens lower tomorrow, close it out. Not that it's still in an uptrend. It's just going to be so soggy. It's probably not going to do anything until the market turns. BDSI, this one, get ready to go short if it opens lower tomorrow with the prospect now back to the 200-day moving average. TGTX, this one held up at the T-line. This one can still be bought if it opens positive tomorrow. Today was telling you a message. They weren't selling it off, even in this where the market was selling everything else off. WLDN, stay long on this one as long as it stays above the T-line. Yahoo, Sorry about that. Andrew McCutcheon just hit another home run. Yahoo, you stay short with the prospect of it heading to the 50-day moving average. And LinkedIn, you watch this one. If it breaks the 50, it's in the next leg down going to the 200. If it holds the 50, watch for a J-hook pattern setup. The Russell 2000. Bad. Heading down. Not bad if you're short, just heading down. And MRK Merck, watch your lack of magnitude of movement, but it should be in a J-hook pattern heading higher. Oops, got to scroll down. Pfizer. Pfizer, get ready to short this one. Now again, a lack of magnitude of move, but at least it'll be doing a bearish doji sandwich after a dark cloud type signal, or might even be a bearish engulfing signal, making your next target back here to the 50-day moving average. But again, be aware of the lack of movement or magnitude of move in this one. HOLX, kicker type signal. This one you can be buying. Just be aware that it has to break through the 50 to break this downtrending channel. But a kicker signal is usually something that's going to tell you that it's going to move with some strength, like we saw in BBG. This one still, I guess I did close out some of this one. But if it holds here at the 50, it means the 200-day moving average becomes the next target. And GDX, stay short. That's the gold miners. FCX, stay short. That's a bearish J-hook pattern failing at the 200. Las Vegas Sands, stay short on this one. That one almost looks just like this one, Cree. Stay short. VVS, I'm guessing you're looking at VVUS. This one you can buy. I'd rather buy this coming back up through the 50-day moving average, telling you the bullish Harami has worked after the gap up. And I don't know whether this, the short cues, yeah, those that you can be buying. Anticipating the market's heading down lower. Netty, this one I wouldn't do anything with. There's not anything here that would tell me that they've continued the uptrend. I would rate, if I was in it, I'd close it out and then just wait to see when the next buy signal appears. Amazon had a gap up but reversed it right away. This one you go short if it opens weaker tomorrow. The diamonds, like the Dow, close right on the T line, and if it opens weaker tomorrow, it's time to go, or you can still be short. SSYS, you can be short this one with the anticipation of the 50 being the next target. Did Vivas. Alcoa was getting soggy. Stay short on this one. Looks like it's in the next leg to the downside. Let's see. Is that LVN? Oops, what is that one? Is that IVN? Nope, that one's not coming up. So we did Netflix. Netflix has that bearish J-hook pattern set up. This one you can still be shorting if it opens weaker tomorrow, anticipating to bring it down to this level. And PEIX. PEIX, stay short, but you do have an inverted hammer, which means if it opened or traded above today, you probably want to close out the position. You can always reshort it if it comes back down through this level. But right now, I would still be short until I saw something that was telling me they were changing direction. Yeah, Thursday night, we're going to just open it up to everybody. And Dougley was drifting. Still drifting. This should have been the warning. And then this definitely would have been the place to be out of this trade. Price line. Price line, you can be going short on this one. After the dark cloud, bearish J-hook pattern, you can be going short on this one. DRC, you stay long as it doesn't come back down through this level. With a gap up, look for a kind of a doji sandwich to the upside, but nice breakout from the slow curve. This is the type we like to look for. A slow curve, different than a fry pan bottom. A fry pan bottom is usually going to be big bottoming action. Slow curve is usually in an uptrend. Then you get a slow curve, profit taking, and then it zips right up from there. Okay, and Don, we usually have some very good scans for shorts. So keep an eye on his stuff. All right, with that, when the stock has a lack of movement as an option play, the price reflects the low volatility. So if it moves, we should see big rewards, right? Yeah, if it breaks out of a low volatility, and that's exactly what happens in these type of situations. Is notice how boring this would have been for somebody for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and just as it starts breaking out, your premium is going to be low, so you're getting in, and as it moves up, not only is the price intrinsic value moving up, but your premium is getting bigger because everybody's getting excited about it again. Okay, with that, we'll see everybody in the chat room in the morning. Have a good evening.